gentlemen, let's calm it down a bit, because today we're doing something a little bit different. No, this is not an MPC tutorial. However, you can connect it to my tutorial series if you want. So I got this video over here, this amazing client that I've been working with, and the client has asked me to film a video. I filmed the video. I even colored the video, as you see here, for all of my colorists out there. I'm on Final Cut. This is what it looks like without the color. See, no color. This is what it looks like with the color. I colored it, I centered it, and now I want to add some music to it. Nothing too crazy, nothing too wild, but something nice and calm to support the dialogue and to catch the tone. So let's go ahead and open up a new project here. It's going to be a very simple project, I promise you, and this is going to be a very quick video because I don't think this is going to take me long. As a musician, as a music producer, I think the MPC X is the greatest way to even do something as simple as this, recording a piano line for a video. Well, I'm going to open up a new plugin. I'm going to come into here and we're going to roll with this piano. And you know what? Why not? Intimate Grand. Okay, off top, how do you match the sound to the length of this video? Well, this video over here is 2 minutes and 41 seconds. Knowing what we know about the MPC, we don't have an option to necessarily say, okay, I want this song to be X amount long. By the way, did you know if you pull down on this, you can access some quick functionality, including a tuner, a retro recorder? What's a retro recorder? That basically goes back and catches something that you thought you wanted, but you didn't record. We should do a whole tutorial on that. Ableton Link, of course, that's linking your MPCs, your time correction, which we're going to turn off. The loop, we're going to turn that off also. Automation can stay on read. We are at 111 BPM, and right now we have 4 bars. And just off top, I know that's not going to be enough for a 2 minute and 41 second video. So for this video, to be honest, I'm just going to crank the bars. I'm going to give myself 111 bars. And I am also going to take the BPM and I'm going to slow it down. I don't think the BPM is really even going to matter here. Now, everything that I'm doing is completely against everything that I've taught you previously on my tutorial series. As I mentioned, I'm not sure if this is even part of the tutorial series, but what this is demonstrating how to treat your MPC like a sandbox that's just open for songwriting and for musicianship. And I think the best way to do that when trying to match it with video is to essentially give yourself no limits. The loop is off. With the loop being off, if I record longer than 111 bars, it's going to keep recording on a linear fashion. So once I press stop, who knows? Maybe it would get up to 150 bars with the loop being off. However, if the loop was on, when it got to 111 bars, it will ricochet back to the beginning. Ricochet. It'll loop back to the beginning, and more than likely the overdub would still be on. Thank you so much, Future News Daily. This is your news daily because we're doing this every day until we stop. Who knows? How many days can I do this in a row? This is the 5th day in a row, ladies and gentlemen, on Voyager Television, live in the morning, cooking up on the MPC. How we feeling out there? Let me know. I appreciate the love. So here we go. We got 111 bars. We are at a BPM of 50, which I'm not even going to turn the metronome on. Time correction is off. This is like some free jazz. This is like some free jazz. So I got a couple chords here that I'm thinking about. I'm thinking like this chord. I'm thinking like this chord. I'm thinking like this chord. Maybe this chord. So I got all those chords. and let's hear the video. And let's just wing it, because why not? So the video sounds like this. I edited this video. By the way, I know I've been doing a whole series on MPC tutorials. Would any of you be interested on a tutorial series on Final Cut? I do a lot of video production. I do a lot of photography production. If any of you are interested in things outside of music, you need to let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep doing MPC tutorials. But today's a special day. We got some video production going. So what does it sound like? We can go ahead and press record. Final Cut Pro, yes, the homie says he wants some Final Cut Pro videos. Okay, maybe we'll start a Final Cut Pro tutorial series. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? So, play start. Let's run it. We got a record on. We're on play start. We got no limits attached here. There's our video over there. I'm going to hit play start now, and I'm not even worried about timing or BPM for this. I'm not worried about it. You'll see why once I start the video. So let's start the recording.
My name is Colette Bauer-Zinn, and I'm the founder and executive director of Private School Access. Here at Access, our mission is to partner with independent schools.
I'm gonna start that over
for underrepresented
because I wasn't ready.
families.
I'm doing too much. So I'm gonna restart the recording, and then I'm gonna start the video from the top. So here's the recording restart. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
My name is Colette Bauer-Zinn, and I'm the founder and executive director of Private School Access. Here at Access, our mission is to partner with independent schools to create pathways for underrepresented students and families of color to access, navigate, and ultimately thrive in independent schools. The Access model was intentionally designed to take educational access to the next level, and it's built around 3 core programs. First of which, our student placement program. We run this program in a cohort model with a very intentional white glove, handheld, individualized process where each student and family is supported every step of the way with individualized attention built in. The unique part of this process is that we stay with our families for the duration of their educations. We have found that introducing people of color to independent schools is a thing of beauty, but it can be a thing of confusion if left on their own to navigate. So we love the fact that we get to stay with our families and help them with whatever they need throughout their educational journeys. Here at Access, we put as much time and energy into our schools as we do our families. That's our second program, the Social Responsibility Certification. With the Social Responsibility Certification, a school does a self-reflection and ultimately creates a self-study about their commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion on their campuses. We send a team of educators to go visit the school for a few days and assess what's going on, and ultimately the process concludes with goal setting and strategic planning to help schools move toward greater social responsibility on their campuses. Last but not least, the third program is our Educator Placement Program. We work with qualified educators of color to get them prepared to be introduced to and interview at our partner schools. Really important piece because it is of paramount importance that our kids see themselves reflected in the adults in their learning environments. Once our educators are placed in schools, they also form an annual cohort which we support with professional development and day-to-day support as educators of color in predominantly white spaces. Together, these 3 programs work in alignment to advance our mission, creating pathways to educational equity. My name is Colette Bauer-Zinn, and I'm the founder and executive director of Private School Access. Here at Access, our mission is to partner with independent schools to create pathways for...
Great. I might try one more alternative pass, just a bit more major perhaps, just in case the client doesn't want the music to be so sad. And if I was going to be a bit more major, We'll do a simple progression like that, like a C to a G to a F. Let's try something like that. So we have an alternative sequence. Who knows what's going to work better? Let's turn this up a bit.
My name is Colette Bauer-Zinn, and I'm the founder and executive director of Private School Access. Here at Access, our mission is to partner with independent schools to create pathways for underrepresented students and families of color to access, navigate, and ultimately thrive in independent schools. The Access model was intentionally designed to take educational access to the next level, and it's built around 3 core programs. First of which, our student placement program. We run this program in a cohort model with a very intentional, white glove, handheld, individualized process, where each student and family is supported every step of the way with individualized attention built in. The unique part of this process is that we stay with our families for the duration of their educations. We have found that introducing people of color to independent schools is a thing of beauty, but it can be a thing of confusion if left on their own to navigate. So we love the fact that we get to stay with our families and help them with whatever they need throughout their educational journeys. Here at Access, we put as much time and energy into our schools as we do our families. That's our second program, the Social Responsibility Certification. With the Social Responsibility Certification, a school does a self-reflection and ultimately creates a self-study about their commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion on their campuses. We send a team of educators to go visit the school for a few days and assess what's going on, and ultimately the process concludes with goal setting and strategic planning to help schools move toward greater social responsibility on their campuses. Last but not least, the third program is our Educator Placement Program. We work with qualified educators of color to get them prepared to be introduced to and interview at our partner schools. Really important piece because it is of paramount importance that our kids see themselves reflected in the adults in their learning environments. Once our educators are placed in schools, they also form an annual cohort, which we support with professional development and day-to-day support as educators of color in predominantly white spaces. Together, these 3 programs work in alignment to advance our mission, creating pathways to educational equity. My name is Colette Bauer-Zinn, and I'm the founder and executive director of Private School Access.
I actually like that one a lot more. I think the first one was a little depressing. When we're talking about like kids and shit. Maybe the first one was a little too sad, a little too minor. We'll get into that. What's the difference between minor and major? Well, minor sounds a bit more tense. Sounds a bit more like Zelda being lost and Ganon is trying to take all of her jewels and shit. So that wasn't really working there. But this one, I think, really works. Future News Daily, I appreciate you very much. I got some Final Cut Pro tutorials coming soon for you. But while we're here, I'm happy with that. You know, I could add some ambiance. I could add an effect, but I don't know. I don't know if I would want to do that. If I was gonna add an effect, what effect would it be? Flavor? Maybe some flavor on it? That really flips that, doesn't it? VHS. Nobody wants their... See, this is where the worlds kind of clash in the worst way possible. Nobody wants their video to sound bad. I know you want to add some presets to make this piano sound drippy. But at the end of the day, that's only gonna get in the way of the speaker for the client. So there's nothing here for this. Just keep it clean. If anything, let's go over here so we can come into back on our main screen here. Let's take Air Flavor Pro away. Let me just turn it off for now, just in case, whatever. And if anything, right, what would our track edit look like under Fabric Piano Grand? Now let's listen back one more time. Now what could we change here to give it a bit more body? That's the format. Ooh, I like that. I like how light that is. I do like that, actually. Let's look. Oh, there's some flavor here. What kind of flavor we got here? Mono 5 flavor. So we're on Fabric Piano for my MPC users out there. We don't want any distortion. We don't want any flutter either. Highly doubt we want flutter. EQ. How's our EQ? Let's turn everything down a little bit. This low mid can... Phaser? Let's listen.
Our mission is to partner with independent schools to create pathways for underrepresented students and families of color.
Quick final cut.
Navigate.
Tip right here. So we have a multicam setup over here. This is the angles here, pre-color graded. This is the clip after color grading. But if you notice, there's a sound issue on Final Cut as well.
Pathways for underrepresented.
Do you hear that? And do you see that? You see how this one gets highlighted here? That angle's highlighted? And now this angle's highlighted. The green is showing where the sound is. This blue right here is showing what angle's being used. But watch this. Once we get right here, listen to what happens.
Our mission is to partner with independent schools to create pathways for underrepresented.
You hear that?
Families.
So that's a mistake on my part. It's pulling the audio from the FX2 when I want the audio from the A74. So I just select this, I pull up my inspector here, and then I come back over here to my active audio angle, and I'm gonna change it back to my A74.
To create pathways for underrepresented students.
That sounds great. So now let's hear everything together. 1, 2, 3, and...
My name is Colette Bowers-Zinn, and I'm the founder and executive director of Private School Access. Here at Access, our mission is to partner with independent schools to create pathways for underrepresented.
It sounds great.
Families of color.
That totally sounds just like that vibe should be. Just for grins and giggles, let me show you why this minor one is not gonna work. Let's go back to the top. It's just too dramatic. Listen, 1, 2, 3, and...
My name is Colette Bowers-Zinn, and I'm the founder and executive director of Private School Access. Here at Access, our mission is to partner
It's
with
cool,
schools to
but it's a bit too dreamy. It's a bit too dramatic.
students and families of color to
We want to score the client in a complimentary way, not to pull away and to make the client feel like what they're saying isn't really aligning with the mood of the film, the short film, the presentation, whatever you want to call it. All right, so that's that. We're done with that. If anything, here's my MPC cheat code for you for today. A wise man, a very talented Grammy award-winning man told me, hey, before you export your MPC projects, put this MPC60 on it. Why? I don't know. But I'll tell you what the difference is. It makes it more crispy. It makes it slap a little bit harder. Do not sleep on MPC60, ladies and gentlemen. Let's wrap this up. I am going to hit the menu. I am going to hit this save button, and I'm going to export the track as an audio mix down. I don't need any tail. I don't mind an MP3. We could do wave, but I don't mind an MP3 because I don't have the time to export the wave. It's going to take a little bit longer for a wave, I believe, because a wave is a stronger file. It's a bigger file. I have a export list here where I keep all my exports, and we'll call this access soundtrack. So yeah, I'm sending this video to the client today because they're going to do some Spanish translations on here. Future news. Here's some future news for you. I'm going to have to come in here and put Spanish subtitles on top of that. OMG. OMG. Not fun. So you'll be seeing this again, and we'll be seeing more video again. Voyager television, ladies and gentlemen, is about three things. It's about music. First and foremost, God put me here on this planet to make music. It's about photography, and it's about filmmaking. And it's my job, it's my mission on YouTube, the greatest social media app in the world. It's my mission to fuse music, photography, and filmmaking as much as possible on this channel, showing you my results, showing you my projects, showing you behind the scenes, showing you how I do it, and also along the way giving you tutorials to teach you how to do it, so maybe you can do it too. So once this is exported, I'm going to take this track from this memory card here, and I'm going to just put it on top of this video. And then I'm going to send it to the client. And I'm going to say, hey, amazing client, how do you like the color on this video? I must say, I think I colored this quite well. Rate my coloring, Future News Daily. Look at that. Not bad. Not bad. A little blue. It's a little blue. It could be a little warmer, perhaps. But I'm going to leave it for now. I'm going to leave it. Let me see if I made it warmer. And then I could adjust the temp from there. But nah, I don't want to do that. I'm going to go back to where it was. I'm going to send the client as it is. What did I shoot with? So this video I filmed on 2 cameras. I had my Sony A74 with my 85mm portrait lens. That's that main shot that you see. The main shot on my A cam is here. This is my 85mm right here. I love the 85mm. And then I also had my Sony FX2, but for the Sony FX2, I was using, what was I using? I was using my 16. I had the 16 milli on the Sony FX2. So I used the 16mm for that secondary shot for my B cam, which is a wider shot. Are you sure you want to eject this drive? Yes, I'm sure. Failed to eject safely. Oh, yeah? Oh, wow. Wait. You see, I almost just lost everything there. Let's save this just in case. It's 2026. Today is what? What is today? It's probably like the 8th and the 9th. I'm going to guess that it's the 8th. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I used a 16mm for that. Which, by the way, you should post the final if the client is cool with that. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Check this out, Future News Daily. You see this? I got this 67mm UV Slim Pro Optic filter on here, and it's literally stuck. I can't take it off. Like, I've tried and tried and tried. I cannot get this off. This is the G lens, so I'm trying to be very careful and not screw everything up with that. But whatever. Okay, so that's saved. Now I can turn this off so I can eject this and get this sound in here. Future Daily News says Final Cut Pro tutorials. I think that sounds like fun. Ladies and gentlemen, try to DOX it. What is that? All right, so let's plug this in. Look, check out this. Here's something every Sony A74 needs. A 1 terabyte SanDisk. Isn't that crazy? But that lives in the MPC. That's pretty wild. I guess I was like, you know what? I don't ever want to put an SD card in here again. All right, so we're going to allow that. We're going to grab that. Where are you? Come on. Come on out. Come to the party. SD, come to the party so we can end this tutorial. Is this a tutorial? Maybe it is. How to use your MPC. Come on. You know what? It already said that it was reading it. One thing I have to learn, or one thing we all can learn from these terabyte SD cards is they are big and they take a long time to load. So I'm thinking about pulling it out and putting it back in and pulling it out and putting it back in. This is actually why I prefer exporting files on a USB drive instead of these SD cards. I just feel like that 1 terabyte SD card takes so long to load that like I just get impatient. And I'm about to yank it out again and stick it back in again. I got 5 seconds. Everything gonna pop up in 5 seconds. I'm yanking it out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yank it. Yanked it. Let's try again. Here we go. Boom. That shit should go. Oh, Hong Kong Fooey, are you really gonna make me load this again? Ah. It just takes too long. Come on, SD card, load up. Load. It shouldn't take that long. And here we go. Now we're back on MPC OS. It's not loading. Still. Now, why is it when I pump this into my MPC, it loads pretty much immediately? Why is it taking you, MacBook Pro, so long to read? It's not that hard. It's just some memory. And it ain't gonna work. I already know it. I've been staring at this for too long. So we're back over here on MPC OS, which you're taking a while to open up too. Let's, lens, not least, sorry, I'd love to see a video on MPC linking to your master keyboard. That'll get, DOX. It's a spray for mixers and faders. That'll get your lens loose without damaging or leaving residue. Okay. That's a good tip. That's a good tip. This never loaded up, so we're pulling it. That's going to load in now. And watch. Well, I guess it did take a couple seconds to load up, maybe. It's not loading. What the fuck is going on? There it is. Woo! I'm talking about scared. I was like, oh no, is my SD card corrupted with all of my data on it? Scared. Frightening. All right, I need a dongle. I will be needing a dongle. And I don't know where my dongle is. You know what? I think I have a dongle right here. So let's grab this. USB. We're going to put it on the back of the MPC. So we can close this, folks. We're trying to close this party here. Come on, MPC. Don't fail me now. Menu. Save. Project. Audio mix down. One more time. We're going to do it as an MP3. We're going to export it. We're going to put it on here. I'm going to export. We don't even need a folder here. I'm just throwing it in there. All right, it's exporting the arrangement. Now we need a dongle. Because when that pops out, I want to put this on top of that video. Give me a dongle. Give me a dongle. Dongle. Where are you, dongle? Somebody give a brother a dongle in here. Oh my goodness gracious. Dongle! Dongle, dongle. Dongle, dongle. Dongle, dongle. Dongle, dongle. I got a dongle, dongle. All right, we got our dongle now. Thank goodness gracious. So, pretty much this video's over. I was hoping to keep it under 30 minutes. That didn't work, though. But whatever. You get it. I'm going to put this on here. It's going in here. And then I'm going to load the song from the USB. And I'm just going to drag it. I'm going to drop it on here. That's the video. You saw how I did it. If you want to know how I did it, go back to the beginning of the video. Future news. Thank you so much for the love. Welcome to Voyager Television. I'll be seeing you very soon. The next video you see, Future News, will more than likely probably be on the MPC. However, since you're interested, I can promise you I will very soon, within the next week here, I will be developing a tutorial series specifically for Final Cut Pro. It may be eventually we'll open up a tutorial series on Photomator, which is my favorite app for photography. I've been doing a lot of photography lately, and I think this is a fantastic app for photography. It's a fantastic app for editing, and a lot of people sleep on it. So we'll get into that. We'll get into that very soon. It won't be long at all. We're going to be doing it all because it's not just about music. See, look at that. There's my before to after. A little too warm there, and then I went to there. It's not just about music, ladies and gentlemen. It's about being a full creative. You know, if you're going to be doing video, why not do the music to your video, right? If you're going to be standing around with the camera on set, why not take some photographs? And, you know, that's my life right now. I'm very blessed and fortunate to be an artist that gets paid to do what he loves to do. Pharrell recently was awarded the 2025 Global Impact Award, the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award. And, you know, he said this quote, something along the lines of, do what you love every day and you'll get paid for it. I think I'm butchering it. But essentially, if you do what you love and if you get good at what you love, you'll be paid for what you love. And, you know, isn't that the best? Isn't that like the greatest? So I got this B-roll tab right here. I'm going to slide this song in here. And then once it drops in here for my hard drive, I'm going to drop it over here. Because if you leave it on the SD card, or if you leave it on the USB, to all my Final Cut users out there, when you eject the SD card or the USB that was containing the audio file, you'll come back to Final Cut and the file will be gone. It'll be like a phantom file. So it's always important to use the data that you're working with off of the hard drive that you're working with. So now I'm going to slide this in here. I dropped the song on now. Now if we have a look, what is rendering over here? There shouldn't be anything rendering. Transcoding and analysis. I don't want you to do any transcoding and analysis. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to drag this playhead up a little bit so we can see what we got here. I'm going to drag my MPC song over here. And look, it ends like right where it needs to end. Our mission,
creating pathways to educational equity.
Great. Just a little bit off in terms of the timing. So here's what we're going to do. How do you fix that, Dane? So we are, oh, what did I do there? Yeah, that's okay. We're going to X that. We're going to X that. We're going to come over here to the far end of the playhead. And we are going to drag this over a bit so we can pull the whole song and hear that nice chord at the end as the great Colette is speaking her final moment. And just so it doesn't sound awkward, what we're going to do is fade the audio in so it'll sound like this.
My name is Colette Bauer-Zinn, and I'm the founder and executive director of Private School Access. Here at Access, our mission is to partner with independent schools.
Can't hear it. Let's turn it up. Let's try that again.
My name is Colette Bauer-Zinn, and I'm the founder and executive director of Private School Access. Here at Access, our mission is to partner with independent schools to create pathways.
Not too loud.
Students and families of color to access.
We can hear what she's saying nice and clearly.
And ultimately thrive in independent schools.
The transitions are transitioning.
Designed to take educational access to the next level.
We look like we're lined up.
Core programs.
It is a little blue for me.
First of which are students.
I'm not gonna lie, it is a little blue for me. But I'm gonna send it to the client, and I'm gonna say, hey, what do you think about this? If they say it's a little blue, I'm gonna say, you know what? It's a little blue for me too. You know what? Let's take the blue out. You're right. Let's take the blue out a bit. It's a little too blue. Let's take the horizon off. Let's take the title off, and let's hear our ending here.
See themselves reflected in the adults in their learning environments. Once our educators are placed in schools, they also form an annual cohort, which we support with professional development and...
Woo! The MPC cooking, boy!
In predominantly white.
Y'all better stop sleeping on that thing.
These three programs work in alignment to advance our mission, creating pathways...
And that camera quality. Woo! This is a camera going on a camera. Look at that camera, boy. That is knock out the park. I must say, damn, I'm good at what I do. That looks crispy as hell. Thank you so much, 85 millimeter. Wow. I want to teach you guys how to do this because you guys, you're sleeping on money. You're sleeping on money, right? Your music can make you money. Your camera gear can make you money. Stop sleeping on money. Be the creative that the universe wants you to be. You can monetize everything that you have been gifted. You just need a couple tools to really get you out there. And once you're out there, it's to the races. You build your company. Now, story time, briefly. In 2018, I got signed to a major label known as Def Jam Recordings. And after that deal, a bunch of money showed up in my bank account. And I was very blessed to have some success. And, you know, I had a good year or two. And then the pandemic came along, and I was like, oh, man, what do I do now? I got this family, I got a wife, I got a daughter. And then the shit really hit the storm, and bills started coming, and the pandemic was over. And Def Jam was getting quiet because they didn't really like my hair. And it was looking crazy, though, in their defense. My hair was looking pretty crazy in that time. And, you know, I was like, I'm out of here. I'm going to go start my own label. So I left Def Jam, and I started InVoyager Records. Now, when I started InVoyager Records, it was a music label that signed me. So I was in here every day on my MPC grinding, making music, grinding, making music, grinding. And eventually I started thinking like, wow, well, this music isn't really making any money. What do I do? Well, you got these cameras sitting here because you've been promoting yourself and your music. Why don't you take the camera and instead of putting it on you, why don't you put it on somebody else? So I started doing that, and then I started charging for that. And then I flipped it from InVoyager Records to InVoyager Records. So now it doubles as a production company in Los Angeles, California, seeking clients around the world, traveling internationally with other Grammy Award winners, taking photos of them while they're on stage. But you know what? I know when the picture needs to be taken because I know when the bass line is going to drop because I have the foundation of music. Do you see what I'm saying? Me being a musician first has blessed me these incredible opportunities to get here. And you can do it too. You have other gifts too. I'm talking to you. Yes, you. How is he talking to me? Yes, you. You can do this too. You just have to look around, look at your tools, start making calls, start networking, start building. Build your company. No one is going to build it except you. So I hope all of this has inspired you. I hope today you learned something. I hope today you want to get out there with your camera and start creating some content. I'm going to teach you how to make content. I'm going to teach you how to use your iPhone to make content. You don't need a $700 lens to make content. You don't. Although it helps, but most content, it's going to go faster if you just use what you have. And we'll get there. More MPC tutorials coming soon. More Final Cut tutorials coming soon. And more photography tutorials coming soon. In the meantime, we got more MPC stuff coming right up for you. Yesterday's show, we left off with how to record vocals on your MPC. And we're going to pick back up on that tutorial very soon. And it'll just be the second part of that tutorial. But I had to get this out of the way for this client. And I wanted to show you how I do it because maybe somebody would learn something. I think somebody did. Did you learn something? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you need help with, and I'll talk to you soon. Have an excellent Friday. Go ham, ladies and gentlemen. Get out there and do something. Be creative. Stop consuming and create. Yes, you consumed this video, but now you're going to digest this, and you're going to go create something. Trust me. Thank me later. Adios. Call me if you need me. Photo and video. And it ain't free 9.